Now let's get rid of the ugly questions first. Had a great first quarter.
Yeah.
Got out to a 14-0 lead.
Right.
And you couldn't step on the jugular.
No. And, I've already moved forward to Ashland, so the tech is like fading out. You know what I mean? Not the disappointment or frustration from it, but actually what happened, like play by play. But, I recall we had a takeaway there. I think Demarius had that ricochet. We were in man free, and we got it on about 38, and we ended up with no points. And so when you play tight games like that, rivalry games, so-called rivalry games, right? So you don't get any points out of it. And so then we missed another field goal, and it was a long one. Dalton had the distance, but I think he was wide left from an offensive perspective. He had plenty of distance, and that was 47 yards. And you got to get points. You got to get points. And then, we weren't fitting things as crisp as we needed to on the second level. All their gap schemes, their toss G, their split zone a little bit, their flop zone, and a little bit of their power game and their counter game. We were plussing the linebackers, so they were running that counter back to the weak side on us, and we weren't fitting it right. And it wasn't that we didn't work on it. We worked on it all week, and those are our base fits. You just don't execute right. So that's where we're at with them a little bit. The players are struggling doing what we teach them to do, and it's not hard. That's one reason we run this scheme. I've been involved with numerous schemes on defense throughout my 30 years, but this one is the easiest to adjust to formations and all the chaos you get, and the run fits stay pretty basic as long as you're looking at what you should look at. And our reads for the box are the same, for the second level. You read near back, key scheme, ball. And when we don't fit right, there's no answer for it. It's just people not doing what they're taught to do. So when we do what we're taught to do, things look pretty good. Now, hanging the corners out on the deep balls, they force you to do that because of the way they play the run game on you. And their formations are heavy, you know what I mean? So I like that kind of football, but, we had pretty tight coverage. We just didn't play the ball when the ball came in. We were blind, and so they caught the ball. Those guys made some big plays. And so, the one thing I deliberated after the game was, man, that 4th and 1, should I said, let's go for it, and I was beating myself up after the game. We shouldn't have done it. But I felt like, unlike probably everybody else that's just watching the game, calling the defense, we were losing our steam in there. And I don't know if you guys remember at that point in the game, somewhere maybe 2/3 left in the third quarter, we started losing our rhythm, and we were giving up drives, and I needed to steal one back. We needed to steal one back, and so when we didn't get it, I was eating crow. I was like, we shouldn't have done that. But when I watched the play on film, we ran a gap scheme play, and the hinge block got knocked out into the A gap where the ball's supposed to hit. If the hinge block just stays solid, that's a big gain. They ran a bullets, which I run all the time at our offense, and I really don't like it against gap schemes because things get loose because it's a down kick against gap schemes. So it can get away from you real fast in that blitz, but they hit the seal player so dang hard he knocked him over and knocked him into the A gap. And the kid's trying hard. He's a redshirt freshman. So how many true freshmen and freshmen did we play against that night? Because we played a lot. That's just where we are right now. I don't, Al, but I have to look. I don't think they play any true freshmen there right now, or even redshirts. We'll play the cards we're dealt, but we got to work through it, and it happened. Our players right now are fighting. They're playing as tough as they can, as hard as they can, with as much effort as they can. And right now, their sword is broke. So my problem right now as the head coach and the rest of the staff's problem is we got to get them over because it's lingering right now, and we don't have time for it to linger. We got arguably, whether you are a Northwest Missouri fan or an Ashland fan, the best team in the country coming here to play, and they are the real deal. So we don't have time to complain and feel bad about last Saturday's game because won't give us a chance to win, to even compete in this next one. So we're going to prepare to win and go play and be a good football team, and we got to put that behind us, and that's where we're at. Because, these guys, I played them last year at Ferris. I thought last year they were the best team in the league, talent-wise. There's no weakness on their offense. Their offensive line, very, very good, very well coached, very well developed, big, good on their feet, been around for a while. Wideouts, they're unbelievable. They're unbelievable. 5, 1, and 3. I don't know their names. I know their numbers. You know what I mean? So that group is the best probably that I've ever seen in D2 at one time playing together. Phenomenal. Quarterback, very, very good. Been playing for a long time. Can make every throw you want. He manages the offense excellent. He's that guy. Running back, difference maker. 24 or something else. And, that's Ashland. The way they go about their business with football is top notch. They got a 3-story football building. Any guys ever been to Ashland to see it? I see it on film. It's something else. Lee Owens is the head coach there. Lee Owens was the head coach at Akron when I was at Western. He's a D1 guy. Okay? Tim Rose, the defense coordinator. Tim coached all over the country. Matter of fact, he was a head coach at Miami when I was a GA at Western. And he's been all over the country as a defense coordinator. Those guys are big-time football coaches. Why are they at Ashland? Probably because what? They probably pay them pretty good, right? And it's a good gig. Why else would they be there? And they've been there for a while, and they recruit really well. I'm sure recruiting in Ohio, being one of the elite states in the country for high school football and developing college football players, it's pretty fun to recruit in that state. And so they're loaded, and they're very well coached, and they do everything first class. So that's who we play, so we got to get ready.
That means they're flying in again, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Charter. They're not, it's Ashland. They'll charter in, and they'll probably have Friday night meal down at the Chop House. So they do things differently than a lot of people do. And give them credit. Really, if you want to be a good football program, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to operate like that. That's the way we did it at North Dakota State. And that's the way they do it at Ashland. So get ready. If you want, like I told you guys earlier before you started the cameras, if you want to see a real live good football team, come watch Saturday. Come watch Saturday. And we're going to be in there playing them because they are what they are. We got to go play hard. You play them every Saturday. Paper's paper, but we're going to go play, and we're going to prepare to win. And we're going to show it, and we're going to play hard. We just got to get over the hump from last week.
Have you watched any of the film from the last time that they were here where it came down to the final play?
No. I know they threw it to Shaheen, double covered, but guy plays for the Bears, Came out early as a junior, so you can probably put 11 players on him, throw Wildcat Willie in a mix on top of him. He's still going to throw everybody down on the ground, catch the ball and run in, then he's going to throw it in your face and throw you through the back of the end zone. That's how that dude plays. I saw him live and in action. So, yeah, that's the week.
Other than that, how you feel?
Perfect. Perfect. When I came to Northern, I knew what the road was going to be like. So, I don't spill my guts. And I think, well, you grow up with Buck, it gets you ready, right? It being in, programs that I've been in when you go to Florida and Auburn and play and everywhere else I've been, that's a hot fire. And so you go through those experiences, and when you come to a job like this, it's okay. You know what I mean? So my biggest thing is just I gotta get our players over the hump, and you got to be a man. And I told them, I said, what we ask in this program is that you play with toughness and effort. Everything doesn't have to be perfect. No one ever is. We're human. And if you did that, that's all the Lord can ask. That's all I can ask of you. If that's what you did, so be it. Okay? It is what it is. And so you got to put it behind you and move on, because you can't spend energy and put all your effort into something you can't control. Past is the past. Are you happy about it? No. But as you get older, like you guys know, as you go through your different life stages, you deal with things that don't go your way and you move forward and find out how to get better every day. And that's what we got to do. So
Ryan's second start, do you think he's progressing
Yeah.
as much as you?
Yeah.
What was your assessment of his game?
I had so many problems with the defense that, I leave that up to Marty. But we didn't turn the ball over. I'm in that kid's corner because he just got out of high school a couple months ago, and here he is getting ready to play Ashland. You know what I mean? Suit up. Okay, so I like what he's doing. And so I think, we just got to find ways to be more consistent and productive with the ball when we have it. And that's what we work on. But, we've got to work through our difficulties and find ways to improve.
You mentioned the defense has been a place that you've wanted to develop in the season. Have you seen progress since you've
Yeah.
taken over?
Oh, yeah. I mean, our defensive line is on its way to improvement. And linebackers, we're still shuffling around a little bit, trying to find our best guys. It's, we lost 2 in the summer to academics, but I'll get them back. You just can't afford to lose players that have played for 2 or 3 years to grades. I mean, they should be on their way. They should know how to take care of their business, but we get stumped in that kind of stuff and it gets frustrating. So, I'm without Alex and James right now, and the rest of our guys are trying like heck to get going. So, DJ's playing pretty well, and I'm going to get Austin Potter involved in this game because he shows the initial quickness and the suddenness and the ability to read schemes. And I got to give him a chance. And so I like the way the D-line's playing. Yeah. And we're, one of our elite players is a true freshman. Everybody talks about Ryan, but what about John? I mean, John he's pretty good in there. And he's underweight, and he just got out of high school in June. And I feel really good about his future here. You know what I mean? And wait till we develop him and get him in the weight room and lock him down for a couple of years. He's going to be big and strong, and if he's good enough right now, he should be really good. And we'll recruit more like him. And so, that's our plan. Recruit really good players that'll go to school, and they'll be really good in character, and we'll have them here for 4 to 5 years and make them strong and teach them real good and make them tough and make them understand how to work hard. And then we should have a good football team. So, but this is a work in progress. I'm a little bit leery of taking a bunch of transfers. If I need 1 or 2, I've got to be really convinced where I'm getting them from and what their character is. I just don't like living in that world, bringing in 10 JC kids and 2 transfers. I just don't want to get into that. I just don't think that fits our school or our community very well. So the development then takes a little longer when you do it with high school players than it does if you do it with a bunch of transfers or JCs. So somewhere in there, the fence is perfect, and we're trying to find that line.